It's me, Tomboy in the Dress. Happy Black History Month, and things are about to get real. So I know this is something different. This is not countertop talk. This is not kitchen talk. I decided to film a documentary on depression. I feel in the Black community that's something that we don't discuss. It's something that we don't talk about. Even growing up, I can remember times. I mean, when you're young, they say stay out of grown folks' business. So that was something I've never heard. Even in my teenage years, I didn't hear in my household depression, because that's a word you don't really hear. I actually suffered from depression last year. I was diagnosed with severe depression by my doctor. So before I even begin talking or even continue, if you need medical attention or need to see a psychiatrist, a psychologist, whatever, I'm not a medical doctor. So if you feel you need medical help, then please proceed to go to the doctor or go see a medical professional. So growing up, I was the son my father never had. So that's hence why I became a tomboy. But we would go to sports bars together. He took me to my first football game back in like 97 or 98. It was the Bucks versus the Vikings. So I was like daddy's little girl. So he taught me to skate. My father said, if you can walk, you can skate. So my father passed away on January 28th. I got a call probably like 5 in the morning. My mother, I can't remember if it was my mother or my brother-in-law. I don't remember which one was calling. Some of it's comes up on blur. But I remember it was like 5 in the morning and my phone kept ringing back to back to back. And my father was sick for about 3 years, so I already knew. I knew it was coming, kind of. I knew he was going to pass probably, but you can never mentally, physically prepare for that. So we got to the hospital. Doctor came out, 5:55. The doctor said they pronounced him dead. So that was probably the most heartbreaking situation I have ever been through. I've been through bad breakups, horrible, horrible breakups, but that is probably the worst thing I've ever been through. And I was mad. I was sad, and it was very hurtful because my father, he's dead. He was dead, strong, active. I mean, he had diabetes, but he was breaking down. I know he was getting bad. He had CHF, he had diabetes, and he had something else I can't remember, but it was incredibly bad. I remember my mom was saying she was on her way to the bathroom. I believe she said she was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and that morning she was checking on him and he wasn't responding. And I was mad at her when she told me that, because I've never said that out loud. Like, I was really mad at her because I just was thinking, did you try CPR? That's all I'm thinking. Like, did you try to do this? And that's what I'm mentally thinking. But I was mad at her, Jehovah. I was just mad at everybody. And that's probably the most devastating thing to go through. Like, that's horrible. Like, I've been through a lot of stuff, but that it's still crushing. Like, even thinking about this, I feel like the call just happened. I have no pictures of my father up in my house because I still mentally, physically cannot handle it. And that's where the depression came on. When finally my father passed, that's where the depression happened. difficult handling it at all, because I felt I'm okay. Like I feel out of all my sisters, I'm the strong one, and that's just how I feel. I'm not saying it's true, but honestly, that's how I feel. I don't show it a lot much. I keep stuff to myself, so handling the grief to me wasn't good. I drank a lot. I was mixing tequila with Moscato and whiskey all at once. I was just drinking NyQuil just to fall asleep. So I was not handling it well at all. So I remember I went to the doctor probably in February, a few weeks after my father had passed. And I was telling my doctor my symptoms of everything. And he was like, oh, you have severe depression. And I was like, depression's not a foreign word. Like, when I got older in my 20s, I heard the word. But growing up, you didn't hear that word. What do we hear in the Black community? Be strong. Don't show emotion. You Black? Strike one. You're a Black female? Strike two. February is Black History Month. So happy Black History Month. Shout out to Black History Month. But we don't talk about mental illness, bipolar, anxiety, depression. In our community, we do not talk about that. How do you tell somebody you're not okay? You tell somebody you're not okay. What do we hear in the Black community? Let's be real. What do we hear? Get over it. You'll be fine. Get over it. You gotta be strong. But I've always been strong. But what do you do when you're not strong? Like, how do you handle when you're not strong? Drinking, I can probably count on one hand how many times I used to take a drink a year. Like, literally, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. But now, like, I try to stay away from drinking because it's just a temporary numbness to, fulfill a depression. But it still gets me. Some days I think I'm, okay. Some days I don't even turn the lights on. Some days I just completely turn the lights off. Some days I just feel like completely giving up. So even going back to when I first found out about Dad, like, I literally wanted to get in the car, drive on the causeway, and just go off the bridge. Like, that's how I was feeling. But who do you go to? Go to the doctor, give me a prescription. Like, all I wanted was my father back, but I didn't know how to handle it. I don't. I still, to this day, sometimes it's hard, but I've learned to work out. I work out even more. Watch what I eat sometimes if I feel like eating, but I lash out sometimes. I scream when I need to by myself. So a lot of times I like to be alone. Some days I like to be held. Some days I get on the computer and just write, think of stuff to do for my brain just to keep busy. And some days I just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. And those days are the worst. I think in the Black community, how we can break that cycle of depression, just talk about it. Like I said, I'm not a mother, so I can't tell you when to tell your kids to talk about it, but at least talk about it. When you're a kid, what as a child growing up, what did my mom say? A child hit you, tell the teacher. Someone touch you, tell me or tell your dad or tell the teacher. But your parents never tell you, if you're not okay, if you're sad, come talk to me. Go in the mirror and talk. Go talk to your sister. We do not talk about it. So I think it's just telling your child or telling someone it's okay not to be okay, and telling someone that you're not okay, I think that's the first step. Because if you go through something like depression and you don't know what it is, at least you can talk about it. If you're not feeling it, just talk about it. Cry. Punch something. Lash out. Do some sit-ups. But talk about it. Because if you hold it in, trust me, it's not going to be a good conclusion. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So some of the things that I've done to deal with my depression, get through it, I work out, which I was already doing, but I work out even more. I try to read some scriptures to keep me calm sometimes. I put honestly a lot. What I've been doing a lot. I've just really mentally is putting things into put mentally into my brand. Like I spend a lot of time thinking, okay, what can I do next for Tomboy in the Dress? What's next for Tomboy in the Dress? Candles, cartoons, who knows? But I really just put it back in my brain. I did start the lip gloss. I did the beer mugs, the coffee mugs, the pillowcases. Like I really just put a lot of thought process into that because to take my mind off of it, because I can sit here in the dark by myself, but that's not going to help the situation. You can get medication up to yin yang, up to the ceiling, but what happens when you run out of prescriptions? Then you come down, and then what? Now, the prescription I was prescribed, I didn't take any of it. None of it. I'm not saying don't do that if you're prescribed something, but to me, I just put it back into my stuff. Something that makes me happy, something that's coming to me. So, what's next for Tomboy in the Dress? Well, honestly, I would like to go around in my community and talk about depression and have people open up and tell me about depression or things they've been through regarding depression, anxiety. Because, like I said, something we don't talk about. And I said that numerous times. So maybe someone seeing this might inspire them to open up and talk about it. So I really hope this inspires someone. And I really, really want to talk to some people about it and have them open up. So that's what's next with this documentary and with Tomboy in the Dress. But with me, you never know.